So, in today's episode, I want to talk about people that are stuck, right? People that feel stuck. People that feel like they are stuck at 70 grand, 80 grand, stuck in the same position, stuck in the same, without getting a promotion, without getting the things that they deserve. So, let's say that you've been in tech for 3, 4, 5, 6 years. It's a good job, right? You know the systems, you know the people, and you know exactly what every single day is going to look like. The crazy thing is this: your title has not changed since you've been there. Your salary might have went up 4, 5% over the entire time you've been there. Let's say that you got $1,000 raise last year and it just felt insulting. It felt like, what's going on, man? Why am I here? You're not necessarily miserable, right? But you do feel like there should be so much more, whether it's compensation, whether it's responsibilities, whether it's what you're learning every day. And one of the biggest things is this: you look at your bank account, then you look in the mirror, and you probably start staring at the ceiling, right? Thinking about, it's got to be more than this, right? You know you should be making more. You know that. I know that. You know that. You know your skills are worth more. And it may even be some people that you know who started after you, who got in tech after you, and they're making more than what you're making. They may even be making six figures. And you can't really figure out what you're doing different, what they got that's different, and why you can't do the same thing. So that's what got you stuck. And if any of this stuff is hitting close to home, this episode is literally exactly for you. I'm Rob from PastTechSearch.com. I've been doing this for over 20 years. I've helped 15,000 students, got 12 certifications, got an MBA in this stuff. And I've did just about every job you can think of in tech. So if you are brand new, right? If you're brand new to tech, this will show you what the future could be like and kind of the pitfalls to avoid, right? But if you're already in the industry and you feel like you've been running on a damn treadmill for years, this is specifically for you. So over the next couple of minutes, I'm going to walk you through 6 specific moves that I think you should make so you can get unstuck. This isn't to motivate you, right? This is more mechanical, more analytical, more methodical. Every single one of them is something that you could do starting right now. By the end of this episode, I'm going to tell you something that if you just take a couple months, it can literally change your life. Also, I got a special offer for you guys. We just launched something brand new, and you guys are going to be the first ones to hear about it. So what does being stuck actually look like, right? This is what it looks like. You've been in the same company for 4, 5, 6 years, same everything, same title. You might have got 1 or 2 promotions, but the money needle, right? The money didn't really change. None of that really moved. You're in the same traffic, same cubicle, same team, same everything. Just the same damn day, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. And that's safe, right? That's safe. But that also breeds complacency. And complacency is super dangerous. And it may be costing you, your spot in tech in general, staying in the same place, doing the same thing. So let's kind of look at this from a psychology standpoint. You've been in your role long enough that you can do it without any effort. You ain't even really got to think about it. It doesn't matter if you are working from home. It don't matter if you're in the office. It don't matter what's going on. It's comfortable. It's safe. But that's also dangerous, right? Your brain literally shuts off, right? And when you think about going somewhere else, when you think about changing careers, your brain is going to try and keep you safe. Oh, no, this is a good-ass job, man. Oh, no, we making money. Oh, no, we got our own little cubicle, right? And you may start to think yourself, hey, man, maybe being a system administrator ain't that bad, for the rest of my life. Instead of thinking of what is the next step? How do I evolve? How do I become better? And before you know it, you look up and you've been doing the same shit, making the same pay, doing the same thing for 20 years. So the first thing I want you to do is just really sit with what I'm about to say. If you've been in the same role for more than 2 years, 2 to 3 years, and your salary has not changed by at least 15% in the last 2 years since you started, that's not, loyalty. That's not smart. It's just you being safe. And that is expensive. It's going to cost you more than money. It may actually cost you your future, man. Because every year that you stay put at the same salary, that's not what you deserve. That's not at the market rate that other people are making. You're not just losing that year's income. You're losing every raise, stock options, medical benefits, all this year after year after year after year, and that compounds, right? So let's say you stuck at one company for the wrong reasons. The average tech pro, right, professional now, is, making anywhere in between 300 to 500,000 more than you over their lifetime, right? That's how much it could cost you, right? Because we're talking about 10, 20, 30 grand every year, not just one time. And it may be even more than that, right? Especially if you're at your ceiling. That's another thing that's dangerous a lot. I talk to so many people that they have capped out on their potential at a company. They have capped out on their salary. They have capped out on promotions, and they will not leave. They will not leave, right? They're even scared to put on applications, scared to create a resume. And, that's costing a lot. So this is the first thing I would do, right? This shit may be scary to you, but there's some necessities. The first move that you may need to make if you are stuck, you need to change where you work. And I know this is one of the hardest things, right? Especially with the economy, especially with the job market. And we're already, if you're one of them ones, especially if you're in our community, you know that shit is just for the ones that are not skilled, don't have certifications, aren't willing to put in the work. It don't matter what the job market is. If you are skilled, if you have good character, if you have good communication skills, if you can make a company some money, if you can save a company some money, you can get a fucking job, man. But that doesn't mean that you're supposed to quit today, right? It just means that you need to, put the steps and start making the steps forward so you have the ability to transition out of that job and get a different job. What I mean is you need to start looking today. Even if you love your current company, even if you're not sure if you even want to leave, just see what's out there, right? Because look, this is how it goes. The tech industry is just different, right? Most people, right, as far as raises go and all that type of stuff, they usually max out around 3 to 5% per year at most companies. Going somewhere else, you can get way more than 3 to 5% more, right? So most companies, that's just kind of the ceiling. If you the GOAT, if you're the best ever did it, most likely you're still only getting 3 to 5% every year. Now, usually when you go to another position, usually when you go to another company, you're going to get a 20 to 30% raise. Now, I'm not saying every fucking year to go to a new company. What I'm saying is if you're stuck and you know it's a wrap where you are, go somewhere else and get that 20 to 30%, man. So here's the first thing I want you to do. In the next 30 days, apply to at least 5 jobs. That's it, right? Now, if we really are getting to it, I tell people to apply to at least 100 jobs a day. Now, if you're in the community, you understand how to do that. If you're not, then that's on you. But apply to just 5 jobs. That's it, man. Apply to 1 job a week over the next 30 days and just see what happens. Not because you're leaving, just because you want to know, what are my skills worth in the market? If you don't get no replies, if you don't get no interviews, if you don't get any type of interest, I don't know. That might be an indication that I need to stay where I'm at until I really start leveling up, whether that's my skill set, whether that's my resume, whether that's mentorship, whatever you need. If you don't get any type of response back, that's an indication that you may not be one of them ones just yet. Number two, the next move you need to make, right? Actually, before we dive into that, no, I'm gonna skip that. All right, so before we dive in, the next thing you need to do is just geography, right? And maybe taking your ass back into that office, man, because I know everybody is want to work from home, but that is here's the real truth. The data backs this up. The first people, unless you really are going crazy, the first people to get fired, the first people to get let go are work from home people, because you kind of out of sight, out of mind. Even though you're part of the team, you're not part of the team. Even though you're there, you work, you don't work face to face physically with people. Even though what happened in 2020, even though, we're in a FaceTime and Zooming ass culture, you create a different connection with people in person. If you haven't been outside in a while, believe me, you do. So the first thing you need, or the second thing you need to do, is just maybe move, man. Just move. You got to be willing to move, right? Change is okay. I done moved, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 damn times in my life. And guess what? I'm okay, right? If things aren't working where you're at, maybe it's time to go somewhere else, right? Now I understand. Please believe. I got kids, I got a family, I got a wife. But when it's time to move, when wherever I'm at is not working anymore, I get the hell on. And I suggest you do the same thing. I understand, like I said, you have a whole life where you live. You got family, friends, you got kids in school. I definitely get it, right? So I'm not telling you to just, hell, get the U-Haul, pack the shit in there and let's go. I'm telling you that you need to be flexible at least, right? Because that's one of the biggest hidden salary, hidden promotion, hidden opportunities, right? Are you willing to relocate? Hell yes. And then like certain cities, pay significantly more than other places. So for example, like Denver, Austin, Charlotte, Raleigh, North Carolina, DC, Virginia, all these different places have become tech hubs, and they're paying nearly the same amount of money as the jobs in San Francisco. And I don't know if you've been to California. I don't know if you know much about California. The cost of living in California is crazy. So you can get the same amount of money that you can get in California at a place that has a lot better cost of living, right? So if you're in a similar market and you stuck at like 75,000, 80,000, moving close to or moving to one of those cities can get you closer to 90, 100, 120, and those type of numbers, right? Another thing is this. Most people are fighting, the return to office shit. And most companies have mandated it. You may be hybrid, you may be whatever, right? But you may not be able to be fully remote, right? You may have to work in an office, which that's where the fuck I'm at. It's really not that bad. Trust me. A lot of people are having to return to the office, right? And the return to office or in-office jobs are actually paying a premium now, right? Because the labor pool has shrunk. That's what a lot of people aren't saying. Oh, I can't find a job. I can't find a job. You can't find no work from home job, right? That's the difference between being unemployed willingly and being unemployed willingly. A lot of people are being willingly unemployed because they don't want to go in office, right? And like I said, they killed me on the internet, but I'm gonna say it again. Working from home is a fucking luxury, man. It's a luxury. It's not a necessity. It's not a necessity. It is not a necessity. You can get your ass in the car and you can take your ass to the office, especially if it's going to provide a better, life for you and your family. Another thing is this. I'm Rob from PastTechSearch.com, and the next move you need to do, surprise, is get you some certifications, man. You cannot just get one certification and stop. You can't stop at two. You need to always be looking at the certification ladder. What is the next thing and what is it going to do for me, right? The thing is this. I've been putting out this information for years and years and years on this podcast, YouTube, to my students, Instagram, TikTok, and anywhere that has an internet connection. Here's a situation most people in tech find themselves in around year 3 or 4. They got A+. They might even have Network Plus and maybe even Security Plus, right? They've been working in maybe a help desk role or junior admin role. And they start Googling. They start Clauding. They start chat GPTing, right? They watch a bunch of YouTube videos. They read a bunch of Reddit posts. They read a bunch of Facebook group posts. And they're like, damn, what's going on? Because they get confused. They know they want to make more money. They know they want a different position, a better position. And they start looking around and they get even more confused than when they started. If you have Security Plus and you're wondering what's next, right? Let's just say that you got all the certifications, you got Security Plus. There's really 3 paths that you can take, right? Now, this is for somebody that has Security Plus. If you got the other ones, good, but at a minimum, a Security Plus, right? If you only got A+, this ain't for you. If you only got Network Plus, this is not for you, right? But if you have Security Plus and you're trying to figure out, and you already got a job, right, either in networking or in cybersecurity, the next thing is you have to be a little bit more specialized, right? So Security Plus is not an easy certification. Security Plus is not an entry-level certification. Security Plus is a general cybersecurity certification, right? It's not necessarily specialized. So I would say path 1 is for specialization would be something in defensive cybersecurity, right? So cybersecurity operations, threat detection, incident response, that type of stuff. So if you have Security Plus, the very next certification I would get is CYSA, so Cybersecurity Analyst Plus, right? This is a cert that's going to qualify you for SOC analyst roles, security operation positions, threat detection engineering. And right now, the average SOC analyst is earning anywhere from $90K to just above $100,000, right? CYSA Plus is where most cybersecurity and Security Plus holders go next, and that's where they should go next, right? If you actually want to work in cybersecurity operations day to day, it kind of bridges the gap between having, like I said, a generalized, I almost passed out, a generalized cybersecurity background to being way more specialized. Now, path 2 would be more red team. So first path would be blue team. Second path would be more red team. So like offensive cybersecurity, right? So ethical hacking, penetration testing, vulnerability assessments, and that type of stuff. And the perfect certification for that would be Pen Test Plus for penetration testing. This cert positions you for penetration testing roles, right? So all different type of red team positions. You can do security assessments and that type of stuff, right? So pen testers most definitely are going to be making 6 figures plus. And Pen Test Plus is the path people take that want to, really break into systems, right? And show people what's wrong ethically, and this is how I fix it, right? So that's the only difference, right? So we break into it, show you how we did it, and how to stop it. So path 3 is more of a management role, right? So this is where you move kind of out of the hands-on work and more into the architecture and management of people. Now, you still got to have the skills. You still got to have the know-how. You still got to have the smarts, but this will be more management. And that's where the CSP comes in. So the Certified Information Systems Security Professional. This is a hard-ass certification, right? So Security Plus is hard. COSA and Pen Test Plus is hard as fuck. CSP, hard as a motherfucker, man. But it's doable and it's possible. But this is not a beginner certification. If you ain't have years in the game and some actual real cybersecurity experience, I would not suggest you to do it. And it's real rigorous, even the prerequisites, because you have to have 5 years of documented cybersecurity experience before you can even take it anyway. So it's going to open up doors for security manager, security architect, and like a CISO kind of role, right? So CISP holders are earning anywhere from 130 to 180 and easily break the 200K mark in those leadership positions. Now, as far as another path you can take, right, is a cert that, some conversations really skip over and kind of forget about. If you kind of head more towards like networking specifically, especially at any type of enterprise level, I would say CCNA and eventually the CCNP, right? And they're better credentials than if you got Network Plus, you want to do networking for sure. I would kind of lean more towards the Cisco certifications, right, after Network Plus. So this is kind of what the map will look like, right? If you want to do cybersecurity operations, we would do CYSA Plus. If we want to do cybersecurity offensive, we would do Pentest Plus. If we want to do security leadership, we would do CISP. If we want to do enterprise networking specifically, I would do Cisco CCNA and then CCNP. If I want to do cloud stuff, I would do AWS or Azure. Each one of these credentials is going to move you from more generalized, like I keep saying, to more specialization. That is where the real money is at. That is where the 100K stuff is at, right? Is you being specialized. Now, there's one mistake that I see people make over and over and over again at this stage of their career. They just start getting fucking certs, man, just to get them. That strategy and that reasoning that I just told you why, they kind of just start collecting them like, Pokemon cards or some shit. They just keep on, I got to get them all. Get this one, get that one, boom, boom, boom. And that's just not, it's not a good idea to get a cert just to get a cert, right? You have to have a reason. And, okay, I'm getting a cert because hopefully it does this. I'm getting a cert because it's going to do this, right? Don't just get a cert just to get a cert. You got to have more strategy behind your moves than just doing the stuff just to do it. Now, I'm going to skip through steps or moves 4 through 6. They're real simple. Mentorship, networking, and community, okay? You got to get a mentor, man. If you don't have somebody in tech who has, is at least a step 2 or 10 ahead of you, it's going to be rough, right? Because you won't see the blind spots that you have, right? You're going to listen to people on TikTok. You're going to listen to people on Instagram. You're going to listen to people who in 60 seconds, 90 seconds, 2 minutes cannot tell you what the fuck to do. They don't know your background. They don't know that you have kids. They don't know that you were in the military. They don't know that you have ADHD. They don't know that you are fucking dummy. Maybe, some people are fucking dumb. Sorry, but they don't know your backstory, right? They don't know how you learn. They don't know if you are audio, visual, hands-on, a little bit of what modality is going to work best for you, right? You need to have a mentor. Number 5 is just a network, right? Being able to know what's going on. I know, networking is kind of like, I don't know. It kind of has maybe a bad reputation. I don't want to go to any type of conferences. I don't want to do anything. I want to be solo dolo. I want to be a lone wolf. I want to do this on my own. Real networking looks a lot, different than just, hey, can I pick your brain? And I'm going to tell you that's one of them things, man. Don't tell nobody that shit. In 2026, 2027, in the future, when they dig this up 100 years from now, if you all are still fucking asking people to pick their brains, if somebody open your head up and start picking at your fucking brain, does that sound enjoyable? No. So let's not do that, right? Let's not offer anybody a cup of coffee. I can buy my own coffee, right? So make sure that you are trying to add real value to somebody if you want them to be in your network, if you want them to be your mentor. And a lot of times, I'm just going to be honest with you, you have to pay people, man. No, like time is money. People have limited energy. So if you just want somebody to help you just because you think they should help you and they're strangers, they don't fucking know you, it's not a good idea, right? So, like I said, you definitely need to get a network group, people that are on the same level as you, people that are a little bit ahead of you, and some people that are a little bit behind you, so you can see, how far you've come. So, last but not least is, like I said, you're networking, but you also have to have a real community, right? Get in a room, get in a Discord, get in a Slack community, get in a community that's going to allow you to see people that are on the ground winning, see people that's going to keep you accountable, see people that's going to keep you motivated on a day-to-day basis, right? So if you take one thing from this whole conversation, just take this one. Find your people, man. Get in the room and stay in the room. So at the top of the episode, I had something to announce, and this is it. For months, I've really been building 2 brand new programs based on the exact cert path I just told you guys about. So we're dropping a brand new COSA program and a Pen Test Plus program, probably somewhere around September, right? But right now, I'm opening up beta access for a limited group of applicants right now. Beta means that it's pretty good, but it probably still needs some more work, right? So when these programs come out in September, they're going to be $3,000 a piece. Right now, they're going to be $497. So the reason that you guys will get a discount, the reason that you guys will not have to pay that $3K if you get accepted is because you'll be helping me build the program, right? So any deficiencies you see, anything that you want to see, hey, I wish I had this, Rob. Hey, I wish I had that, or you should take this shit away. You'll be able to help me build this into an amazing program. So right now, the beta program is $497. I'll put a link to the application in the comments. And like I said, in September, once it launches, it'll be $3,000. Now, here's the part I want everyone, anybody, who's served in the military, whether it's COSA Plus, Pen Test Plus, A Plus, Net Plus, Security Plus, Cloud Plus, PMP. Now, what other certifications do we have? I think I forgot a few. But anyway, if you're looking to get tech certifications, right, we will train you for absolutely free. So that $3K price, that $2K price, all that stuff is for civilians, people that haven't served in the military. I thank you for your service. You can get trained in all these certifications for absolutely free. The link to do that will also be in the description. Also, if you are a military spouse, you train for free as well. A military spouse of a person that is actively serving right now. So getting unstuck, man, it's not a mystery. I just gave you 6 moves that if you make, you're going to be good, man. In the next 30, 60, 90 days, you'll completely change your life. So next week, I'm coming back with an episode specifically about salary negotiation, right? So, what to say, when to say it, and how to come back with 20, 40% raises. I'm Rob, and other than that, I'll see you in class.